Okay, all you ham and eggers. I was at a place today, frickin' hell. You want to talk about custom made from head to toe? I tell you what, it was custom made from head to toe like nothing I've ever seen. Now, a number of you know that I used to work for a Chinese businessman who is a director of several different companies, and long story short, is worth just shitloads. And he had a pretty nice house that was his weekend house, although most of the time he lives right near Parliament House in the state capital in some whopping big apartment. And the vineyard was where it was sort of like his weekend house. Anyways, long story short, import-export consultant who had about 12 bloody people working for him, and the multi-storey building in which his business was based, he actually owned the entire frickin' building, along with all this other real estate over here and in China, another one on one of the major rivers inside the capital city, that he intended to build basically a retirement lifestyle village in it, but he hasn't got to that point yet. Anyway, needless to say, tens of millions of dollars later, working for him, I got to see inside his house, and that was the house at the actual vineyard. Well, not me, but the supervisor had the keys to the place and everything like that. And I have photos of the furniture inside that joint, and holy cow, everything was marble. Marble side table with a little lamp on it, marble coffee table, marble dining table, marble everywhere. And my co-workers had actually helped drag all that marble stuff inside the building. Yeah, I thought his house was pretty good. I've got photos of this, by the way, and well, I'll just put it like this: some of yous will get to see some of these photos at some point. Maybe not exactly on this channel, but yeah. Anyways, I thought his house was good, and as part of removalists, we were told we had to go to this little old lady's place and move some furniture around. Okay. And as we're driving out there, the guy's looking at the map, and he didn't have Google Maps on his phone or anything like that. Well, at least he didn't have it brought up. He was only looking at the, what's his name? At the actual, like, physical paper map in the big book. And he's going, bloody hell, it must be frickin' huge. And I'm thinking, how can he tell the size of the block off that map? Because I still don't know how you can tell the size of the block off that map. But he said, geez, the joint's frickin' huge. It must be huge because it's a big block. And I honestly don't know how you could tell it was a big block from the paper map. I mean, maybe if it was looking on Google, you know, satellite images, Google Maps satellite images, I could understand. But we got there, and this thing was twice as good and probably nearly, not quite twice as big, but considering all the other outbuildings, yeah, it probably was twice as big as multimillionaire Chinese boss's house. Talk about custom made from head to toe. I have never been in a house like it. I mean, Elvis Travel showed a couple of pretty good looking joints in Florida that he drove past. This place, oh, you had to see it to believe it. We went out the back, and they got this big deck out the back. But before we got through that, we got through some of the most expensive furniture I've seen ever, and a marble dining table that was half the size of the office at work. I mean, half the size of the actual office room at work, and that was just the dining table. And got a TV in the kitchen, it was a decent sized TV, mounted on the wall in the kitchen. just playing away, and we got out the back and they got this big deck, and she wanted us just to move a handful of random shit, just wicker couches, outdoor couches, and a few pot plants and blah blah, and a little barbecue, and I thought, geez, that's only a small barbecue. Well, where did we move it to? A big room that's all glass ceiling for a good part of the top. It was a giant big bloody indoor pool. So we moved all this furniture off the deck, down through this blooming English box hedges, and into this big bloody, what's his name? Indoor pool. And then we had to take these other things up the back, and there's another veranda section tacked on the back of the garage, and she wanted us to put them around there, and of course they got the entire blooming air conditioning system for the for the house around the back. I haven't seen an air conditioning system that big since my grandparents were in a nursing home, and I saw the air conditioning system that ran that place. Honestly, holy smoke, it was an air conditioning system, and it was like a split system, but it was a whopping big thing. And in passing that, there's another area that's a little grassed area hidden out the back of that pool, and there was a little, it was only very short, but like a little bit of a shed tacked onto where the back of that pool is, with a tile roof. And then the penny dropped. That's the friggin' gas heating system to heat the indoor pool. so in case, you know, having an indoor pool isn't good enough, it was fully heated. And anyway, we had to put it around there where the air conditioning system was, behind the garage. We had to put these pot plants, and past that you go past another bloody building, which is a whole heap of glass, and it's basically like a covered-in barbecue area. And this frickin' barbecue, holy smoke! There would have been at least a dozen knobs on the damn thing. It was bloody enormous. And that was just basically like a pool room where they had like giant big pool table, and they got this massive big blooming barbecue and all this stuff in there. You know, I only got to just sneak around the house just from the front door through to where the deck is. But the house was literally two sides, like it was a quarter of a block the size of this house. It was bloody massive. And as we're driving away, I looked down one of the entrances to the house, because it's actually got a garage entrance, and then it's got the front door, and then it's got the side of the house, and then you've got another entrance around the other side, and they've got this big bloody boat parked in there with a cover over it as we're driving past. And it was as we're driving away, and, you know, like, holy smoke, the furniture, the quality of this place was just, as you walk in the front door, to the left, I could see the lounge room, and bloody hell, big blooming skins of, I don't know what it was, some animal, probably a blooming, probably bloody Scottish Highland cattle or something, as a blooming great big rug on the floor. And, you know, the furniture in there was unbelievable, great big blooming lounge room. And then you sort of scoop around the corner a little bit, and you come into the dining and kitchen, and then go out through the deck. But, you know, some people wear GoPros on helmets. It would have... I tell you what, when she wasn't there, which unfortunately was most of the time, I was tempted to bloody whip my phone out. But you wouldn't have been able to see much of it in this low definition, and the guy I was working with probably would have blabbed to the boss and I would have got sacked for it. And I really think it's not I didn't have a good read, but I don't think it'd be part of company policy. I'll put it like that. But that was the one day I wish I had a GoPro mounted on my head, because holy smoke, you understand you're a ham and egg after you've been in that joint. That was luxury. Like, I've been to the Governor General's house. Now, long story short, in American terms, this guy is Australia's representative for the Queen. I've been inside his house. I actually got a photo of me and him with a group of people. But somebody else took the photo, then they opened the back of the camera, and no, it wasn't a digital camera, because it was with a whole bunch of old people involving my grandfather's military battalion, which was a pretty highly prized. They're lucky that any of them even lived what they went through. Outnumbered 5-1 and then outnumbered 10-1 in jungle fighting with basically no training except a little bit of learning how to shoot straight on the ship while they were going to said destination that they fought in. Long story short, they ended up setting up a big commemorative thing for them and whatnot, and I went up there as part of that. I haven't seen furniture that good since I was in the Governor-General's house, and when you've seen the furniture in the Governor-General's house, I mean, keep in mind this dude's the Australia's representative for the Queen in Australia, and henceforth the furniture is only stuff you'd see owned by multimillionaires, and their furniture was just about up to the same sort of a level. It's, yeah. Anyway, there's moments like they say, you know, wish I had a camera, you wish I had a camera today in bloody at least 720p, if not full HD or 4K Ultra HD. It would have taken me a week to upload it if it was that that definition, but I tell you what, bloody hell, I don't know what they're involved in, and it'll be some sort of a business, and I wouldn't be surprised if he was some high-end bloody, you know, runs a stockbroking firm or some, you know, law firm to the mining companies or some, you know, high-flying thing like that. But yeah, that was the custom-made from head to toe experience I had today.